Cool. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Well, I just want to talk this morning about, that we're gathered here during this meditation time to practice something known as Metta or loving kindness meditation. In fact, our group is called the Metta Medics because, we're going to help heal ourselves, heal our world, heal society, heal humanity by the cultivation of this quality known as loving kindness, which is really nothing more than just compassion and altruistic sort of love. And really, that's the purpose of all our spiritual practice. When I first met my dearest teacher and mentor, Jack Kornfield, I was inspired by one of the very first things he told me, and that is that the purpose of meditation is not to perfect ourselves, but to perfect our love. And that really struck a chord in me, but it's really not anything very new compared to what many other people say. In fact, there's another favorite quote of mine by an Indian scholar, teacher, and theologian, you could say. His name was Krishnamurti, and he also said that meditation is the flowering of love. And so when we're practicing, that's what we're trying to do. We're not going into our meditation and our practices or any spiritual practice. We shouldn't be going into it like this is some forced activity. We shouldn't be going into it looking like, oh, I got to go do this again. We should be going into our practices with a sense of playfulness, with a sense of enjoyment, as something that we are actually looking forward to do. And so we should be stepping into these things with an attitude of happiness and joyfulness. But the perfection of love is really the great teaching that has been taught by really every tradition and every philosophy that is known to man, pretty much. I mean, you're all probably well aware of, those of you that are at least Christian, are probably well aware that Jesus said the greatest commandment is to love God and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And when he, right before he was died and crucified, he also said that the only commandment he leaves is to love one another. And if you show love and if you practice love, then you are actually proving and making the statement that you are one of his followers. And he even went so far as to say we can't just love the people that love us. We can't just love, our friends and family, because really what reward is that? If you really want to cultivate this quality of unconditional, altruistic love, then we even need to love our enemies. And now that's a very difficult thing at times, but that's what we're actually called to do, is cultivate that sort of love. In fact, the Buddha also said the very same thing. He said that we need to radiate boundless love towards all beings everywhere. And so this is a quality that we need to cultivate. He also said that, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love alone is it healed and cured. This is the ancient and eternal law. Rumi, who was a Sufi mystic of the Muslim faith, if you're not familiar with Sufis, they're the mystical Muslims, he said that our task is not to seek for love, but actually to seek all the barriers that we have built against it. And so this cultivation of a heart of unconditional flowing love is what we're supposed to be cultivating. If any of you are familiar with some more recent Indian and Hindu, you can call them gurus, saints, sages. One was Neem Karoli Baba and the other is Sai Baba. They both said that we need to love all and serve all. In fact, if any of you are fans of the Hard Rock restaurant or even the hotels, their logo says Hard Rock, and then it says love all, serve all, because the founder of the Hard Rock was actually a follower of Sai Baba. So in case any of you are ever on Jeopardy, you now know the answer to that question. But the perfection of our love is the key. That's the key to every spiritual teaching, every tradition that is out there. And so how do we do that? Well, one is we have to move from the head and into the heart. We can't be up here and all intellectual all the time. We need to be coming from this space. However, what's happened is many of us, through experiences in life, through traumas, from being open-hearted, from being kind, we've had our heart broken, crushed. We've been used. Often very generous, kind, good-hearted people are taken advantage of. So many people have put sort of walls around their heart. They're afraid to sort of come from this space, and they begin to think, well, I've been hurt in the past, and I can't give myself or open myself or show to love too quickly because I'll be hurt again as I have in past experiences. And what we need to do is we need to learn how to sort of break down those walls and come from that heart space. And what we find when we meditate, what we find when we do our spiritual practice, is that there is this essence of love that is within us. There is this seed of love that's there in potential. But as I'm sure you all know, a seed needs to be cultivated. It needs to be nurtured in order to grow. John Lennon once sang, "Love is a flower. You have to let it grow." But if we don't give a seed the right nutrients, if we don't give the seed the right environment, the potential that's within that seed never sprouts. I mean, you could think of an acorn. In an acorn, there is the potential to become one of the mightiest and biggest of trees, the oak tree. But it's right there in that tiny little seed. Well, there's this potential of unconditional, great, majestic love within us. However, we need to cultivate it. And so, what's interesting is a seed can sit dormant for thousands of years. In fact, it was many years ago, it might be 5, 6, maybe even a decade ago. I forget when I actually read the article. And they found a tomb in Egypt many years ago back. And inside it was jars with wheat seeds in it. And for thousands of years, this cave was no one found it, no one went in it. So it was like maybe 5,000, 3,000 years old. And then once they went in and they found these seeds of wheat, they actually were able to start growing them. Thousands of years later, the seeds were able to grow, but all it needed was the right environment. All it needed was the right nutrients. And so it's wonderful. It's really wonderful that all of these traditions and faith tell us we got to love one another. But while many tell you to do it, not many show you how to do it. Not many show you how to cultivate that seed, how to help that love to blossom, how to help it grow, how to help it flourish. And so we need to feed it. We need to give it water. We need to give it the right amount of sunlight. And the loving kindness practice, the Metta practice, is the fertile ground in which we can help to cultivate that seed, in which we can help to cultivate that love, that compassion, that kindness towards ourselves, which is most important. Because if we don't have self-love, we truly can't love another individual. We can't truly give away what we do not have. And if we do not have love for ourselves, we can't fully love that other person. What we actually begin to do is we look at that other person and we think that they are going to fulfill that need and give us the love that we need. But it doesn't fully work that way. What happens is we have to cultivate it here and then share it with others, and then we can fully love another person, and so on and so forth. And so it starts with ourselves in the Metta practice, then we work out through a bunch of other people through the practice. And those of you that have been coming these past 2 weeks, you know that I guide it, so there's really nothing you need to worry about. But the last part of it is we begin to send it out towards all beings everywhere. So we're trying to cultivate through a formal and structured way a sort of path to follow on how to cultivate that altruistic, selfless love, which is, again, not something that many teachers actually show you how to do. And so one thing that is I've always found very practical about the Buddha and Buddhist past, because Metta or loving kindness does come out of the Buddhist tradition, is that he never sort of just told you to do anything without sort of or believe something without showing you how to sort of get there. And then he'd tell you, listen, practice this on your own. If it doesn't work for you, then don't follow it. Don't believe it. Don't, subscribe to it. Just once you see that there's a benefit, then you yourself can follow that and see that there's truth in it. But what's interesting is we can really cultivate any mental quality. We can cultivate, this love and this kindness and compassion. But unfortunately, most of us, most often, we begin to cultivate and intensify such things as fear. And that's happening a lot in today's society because of the situation that many people in the experience that they find them in. So there's many people that are living a fearful, scared life with the situation, but there's also times that anger, we're intensifying and we're cultivating that. We're cultivating jealousy. People that say, I'm just an angry person. That's my nature. I am who I am. That's not really true. It's you are who you are because you've cultivated those sort of qualities within you. But our whole purpose is to sort of become a better version of ourselves. It's to cultivate the opposite. What happens is by our default nature, we sort of have cultivated unwholesome, negative sort of qualities. And what happens is if you get angry, that quality sort of seed begins to be watered. And then as you allow yourself to keep getting angry, you're cultivating that more and more and more and more. And that's what you're growing in your garden of life. It brings me back to a story in the Native American tradition in which a grandfather, I believe, is talking to his grandson. And he's telling them the story of two wolves. And one wolf is very loving, very kind, very compassionate. The other one's very aggressive and evil and mean. And they're at war with one another, he tells his grandson. And then the grandson says to him, well, grandfather, which wolf wins? Which wolf wins this war? And he says to him, the one that you feed. And so it's the same thing here. We can grow beautiful gardens of beautiful flowers of love and compassion and kindness. Or we can grow a garden of weeds by allowing jealousy and anger and hatred and ill will to be cultivated in our life. And so this metta or loving kindness practice is one which helps us to cultivate that seed of unconditional and altruistic love. So again, let's practice. So I invite you all now to get into any comfortable, relaxed position. If you're sitting, I just recommend that you do sit a little bit upright so that your spine is straight, but you don't need to be sitting stiff or tense in any way. I invite you to close your eyes, but you do not have to. You can leave them slightly open. But many of us might have just awoken a little while ago, so we're probably not too drowsy if we had a good night's sleep. You can leave your hands in any position that's comfortable for you. You can leave them in your lap or resting on your thighs, or if you're familiar with the hand seals known as mudras, which are like the hand positions, you're more than welcome to hold them. And now I'm just going to guide us in with 3 deep, long breaths together. So let's begin by taking a long, deep breath in, and slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And take another long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And one more long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And now at this point, I invite you to just allow your breath to settle to whatever its natural or regular rhythm is in this moment. At this point also, just allow your breathing to simply be through the nose or the nostrils. You're no longer controlling or regulating your breath in any way, but just allowing it to be however it is in this moment. Just allow the body to breathe itself. It does it very well. We don't need to control it or tell it how to breathe. It's kept us alive this long and even breathes while we're sleeping to keep us alive. And what you're trying to do for this first moment is just try to be the witness of it. Try to be the observer of it. Notice the inhalation and the exhalation. And when distractions arise, the only thing you do is that the only agreement you make with yourself is whenever the mind wanders, you just gently and lovingly come back to observing the breath. And if there's a lot of thoughts in your mind, that's okay. Don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. The mind is just doing what it's conditioned to do, and that's think. But to help you connect with the breath a little bit better, if you wish, you could gently place a hand on the chest or the stomach and sort of ride the wave of breathing. Feel the inhalation, and when you inhale, you might notice your chest rises, your belly expands. And when you breathe out, your chest falls, your abdomen contracts. This is a wonderful way to sort of ground yourself in the breath awareness activity. Center yourself in this very moment, this present moment. And now I invite you to also just bring your awareness to your body itself. Maybe feel the weight of the body on the chair you're seated upon, or the cushion you're seated upon, or if you're laying down, just feel how the body's supported by the ground or Mother Earth beneath you. And now that we've centered ourselves in this moment a little bit more fully, while your awareness is being held on yourself, we're going to offer ourselves some loving kindness. We start the practice by sending out these well wishes, these affirmations to us. And so I invite you to just silently repeat these 4 following statements after me. If you're alone, you can vocalize them. There's no problem with that. And so just silently repeat or state, I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And now please just take the next few moments to sincerely and wholeheartedly offer yourself your own loving kindness by continuing to silently repeat or state those 4 statements to yourself. And as you're doing this activity, it might help to put a slight smile on your face, half smile, so that you really feel this towards yourself as you're saying these statements. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And when distractions arise, when the mind wanders, don't worry about where you were. Just bring your awareness back to yourself and just begin to start again. Beginning from the first statement, first phrase, I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And now I invite you to call to mind someone you know that you love dearly. This person can be living or deceased. It doesn't matter. It's just somebody or something that you love a lot. So it can be a family member. It can be a friend, a very dear friend. As I've stated in the past, it could even be a pet that you just love a lot. And I invite you now to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, or visualize in any way you can this person in front of you, this person before you, or try to see them in your mind's eye. And now you're going to offer your loving kindness to them now. And there are two ways that you can do this practice. You can either just begin by saying, "May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful." Or what you can do is you can make it a little bit more intimate and personal by inserting the person's name into the phrases. And so you can say, "May he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful." And now just take a couple of moments to offer your loving kindness now to the person that you have imagined before you. And also, again, you can keep that smile on your face, which can help to put a little bit of feeling behind these statements. Don't let the statements just be mechanical or like lip service. Don't run through them real fast. But take your time and with your intention and meaning and feeling, state these things and wish these things for this person. When thoughts arise, when distractions arise, just come back to focusing on the person you love a lot, person you love dearly. And just start again. May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And now I invite you to call to mind somebody you know who might be having a hard, difficult time right now. There are many people that are going through difficulties mentally, emotionally, maybe with the loss of a job or their employment or some other experiences that are going on in their life. But also, you can call to mind someone who might be suffering with a sickness, an illness, or disease. And maybe you know somebody or a friend of a family member at this time who is suffering with the virus. And so you can bring them now into your mind's eye. Try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, or visualize them in any way. If you don't know someone who's suffering with difficulty or someone who's sick, the metta practice can even be offered to a city or a place. And so if you just know a city or a state or a place that the infection rates are skyrocketing or they're having a hard time dealing and containing with this virus, then you can offer your loving kindness to that place as well. There is no problem with that. But again, try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize this person who's sick or having a difficult time. And now you're going to, again, just offer your loving kindness to them. And try to put a little bit of feeling behind what you're saying. And you can, again, just say, "May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful." Or you can, again, personalize it If you know the person's name, you can include that. May he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful. And now just take some time to extend and offer your loving kindness. Send out these well wishes to the person that you have brought into your mind's eye, that you have pictured before you. And again, what we're focusing on with the healing and stuff like that is not that there's like no virus or they're not sick. Some people say if you focus on that, you're like expanding that energy. What we're focusing on in this is healing. What we're focusing on in this is love, is happiness, is peace. So those are the things we're focusing on, and those are the things that we're attracting and growing. And the way you extend out these well wishes is not that you're demanding that, they be happy, you must be happy. No, you're extending these thoughts with a sense of generosity. So when you say, may you be loved, or may you be happy, you're saying it with the feeling of like saying to somebody, may you have a happy birthday. That sense of generosity in wishing them that happy birthday is the same sense of generosity you're sending out these loving kindness phrases with. So again, may you be loved, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful. And now I invite you to call to mind some person that you know that you have no real feelings for, either good or bad. So, you don't have any feelings of like deep friendship or love or care or concern in the sense of an intimate sort of connection, but you don't have any ill feelings for them either. So it's just somebody who's neutral, maybe like your delivery man, your postman, or a person that you see regularly, maybe when you go into a certain store, or the neighbor down the street that you might not know very well but you wave to in the morning, or something like that. Somebody who is of a neutral sort of feeling. And now you're going to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, or visualize them in any way you can before you. And now you're going to offer your loving kindness to them. Again, this person, you might not know their name, so it might be best to just say, may you be loved, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful. And off the bat, right, with this person, you might notice a little bit of a lack of feeling towards them, which is normal for most people. We often find it very easy to cultivate this loving kindness towards those that we love dearly. And it's often easy to cultivate it towards those who are sick, because when someone's sick, we have a tendency to want to help them, want to feel compassion towards them. We sort of, let things go if they might be a little bit, aggressive towards us, or say something that, might come across as a little harsh. We let it go because we say, oh, they're not feeling well. So it's often easy to cultivate the feeling for them. But with this neutral person, we might notice it's a little bit more difficult. And so this is a barometer for you to work with, to see how your altruistic love, that seed is. For some of you, it might be very easy to still cultivate it for this neutral person. That's wonderful. That's great. So you just begin again, whenever the mind wanders, starting with the first statement, may you be loved, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful. And if you notice that that smile's not on your face anymore, you can put that smile back on your face. That might help you to feel a little bit more loving kindness and compassion towards this person. And now next we're going to move towards somebody that we might notice this is a more difficult part of the practice. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize, in any way possible, someone from the present or your past that you may have had a hard or a difficult time really getting along with. Somebody who might have hurt you or used you or wronged you in some type of way, or someone with whom you've just had conflict, someone who knows how to get under your skin, irritate you, annoy you, push your buttons. And so once again, I invite you now to pull this person into your mind's eye in any way you can. Try to picture them or feel them or imagine them seated before you or in front of you. And now do your best to offer them your loving kindness. Stating, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. You may notice that you have a little bit of resistance towards this person. Your mind might not want to say these things. Maybe a little thought or a little commentary is happening in the back of your mind that's saying, well, this person hurt me. I don't really want them to be happy. I don't really feel that I want them to be peaceful. Those things, again, are very common. When we've been hurt, the default reaction is to want to hurt somebody else. Somebody says something hurtful to us, and we say something hurtful back to them. But this is a way to help break that cycle. Help try to overcome that default mode of inflicting hurt for hurt. As the Buddha said, hatred does not cease by hatred, but by love alone it is healed. That is the ancient and eternal law. And so just try your best. If this is mechanical right now with this difficult person, that's fine. Just continue on. Your heart will soften in time. You may notice that your mind wanders a bit more with this difficult person. That's okay too. Just refocus, bring it back, and start again. May you be happy. May you be loved. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. But when it comes to this difficult person, if for any reason, if you're actually becoming irritated yourself just by calling this person into your mind's eye, if the thought of them is just ruining your present moment experience, of making you angry or frustrated, trying to practice with them, or for them just being in your mental images, then you can offer this loving kindness now back to yourself during this moment, because truly it's not them that's doing this to you. It's actually your thoughts. It's the mental baggage that you carry in regards to this experience and this relationship. And so truly you're the one who's in need of a little bit of healing. And so if you are having a difficult time with this difficult person and it's ruining your experience, just offer the loving kindness back to yourself. And now last, but definitely not least, let us offer our loving kindness now to all beings, to all life, everywhere in this universe. And not just, when I say all life, that doesn't mean just all people. That means people, animals, even the stars and planets. They have a life to them. This entire universe is filled with life. So we're sending out this loving kindness everywhere to all beings, and all being seen and unseen, the Buddha would say. So even people who aren't physically present on this world anymore, we're sending this loving kindness to all of them. And so please just silently repeat these 4 following statements after me. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. And now please take this final moment to sincerely and wholeheartedly offer your loving kindness now to all beings, to all life, everywhere in this universe. And if it's helpful, the past 2 times I've guided this practice, I told you about a monk in a monastery I met in Bodh Gaya, who when he would practice this at the final moment of all beings everywhere, he would imagine himself as like a energy transmitter, a radio tower, broadcasting these energies of loving kindness out in all directions. And what he'd do is he'd actually imagine, as he said each statement, a colored energy like radiating out from him. So when he would say, may you be loved, let's say red, like a red heart, or the red color is passion or love towards you, or for you, then you can send out a red energy from yourself when you say, may all beings be loved. And then when you say, may all beings be happy, whatever color of happiness is for you, if it's like, I don't know, yellow or orange or something, you could send out that colored energy from yourself in all directions. When you say, may all beings be healthy, since in the traditional 7 chakra system of most Western cultures, the heart center is green, and that's love and healing. Maybe for healing, you're sending out a green energy, and then peace, maybe blue. You're sending out a blue energy when you say, may all beings be peaceful. So if that's helpful for you to add a little bit of a visualization towards the statements, that's perfectly fine. You can utilize that. And sometimes it's a nice way to help people really feel that they're sending out these thoughts, these well wishes, this loving kindness throughout the entire universe. So again, it's may all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. Our meditation has come to its end. You may need to bring some gentle movement back to your body by beginning to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. You may want to stretch your arms or legs. You may want to take a couple of deep breaths just to bring your awareness back to the body, fully grounded again in this room. Whenever you feel ready, you can begin to slowly open your eyes, make your way back into the space. Take your time in doing that. But I truly thank you all for being part of this meditation again this morning. With these loving kindness phrases, these are the ones that I've sort of come up with in a sort of modification of the formal statements, which is like, may I be safe, may I be happy, may I feel peaceful and at ease, may I be filled with loving kindness. And what I'd like to share is that, maybe not what I shared before, and I don't think I shared in one of the other talks, is that you can utilize any phrases that you want, anything that feels right to you. You can substitute for those words. So if you have something that, feels better, like, may I be joyful, or anything, then you can utilize that, and utilize any other word that feels good. The other thing is that as our heart begins to open, and there's these sort of walls that we've built come tumbling down. The thing about metta, or loving kindness, is it helps it to do it very gently. It breaks those walls down very, peacefully. It's not like a rough breakthrough. And so what begins to happen is that once we do recognize that part of us and come from that authentic self, we begin to see how intimately we are connected and interdependent on all people. All life is connected and interdependent on one another. And so we begin to see that ultimately, even those people that have hurt us, or so on and so forth, they're all searching for the same things. The human qualities of searching for happiness, searching for love, searching for peace is universal. And we recognize that we are all looking for that. And the great Christian mystic and meditator and contemplative Thomas Merton once said that compassion is the awareness of the interdependence of all life. And really, that's what this loving kindness begins to show you. So I thank you all for being here today. Thank you all for sending us these little hearts and these little hands and these little happy faces and everything. Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Laura, and thank you, everybody else, Catherine and Nicole, and everybody who's Cynthia and Marcia and Amber and Amy, and all of you who've been here today. I truly appreciate it. This group would not be anything without all of you, because again, this isn't mine. This is ours. This is a way for us to socially connect and to come together and to generate that love for ourselves, which thereby will help us to, in essence, heal this world. So I thank you so much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you being here today. And I hope that those of you that are celebrating Passover, I hope you have a beautiful and happy holiday. And those of you that will be celebrating Easter this Sunday, I wish you a blessed and happy Easter to you, your family, and everyone. And may each and every one of your days truly be filled with an abundance of love, happiness, and peace. Thank you all.